All right. Welcome, everybody. Chill Series number 9 Grand Finals. We had 122 players tonight, and it's culminated to these final two competitors. We have Fernando Cifuentes, and he is playing against Marco here. Marco 43. Marco 43 is running Pika Hammers, and Fermenta is running Poison Eternatus VMAX. So it's going to be a really great finals here. We might see Pikarom Hammers win the second event in a row. Would be absolutely crazy. But we're getting right into it here. Marco here starts the game with Eldegoss and not a great hand. Not something that you really want to see, especially playing Pikarom here. Now let's take a look for meta. So this is interesting. So he's going to mulligan here, so Marco will get a chance at drawing another card. But let's see what Fermetta starts off here with. For meta, he's going to... Nah. Okay, so Marco did draw the Marnie and another Chaotic Swell off of that double mulligan there. But Fermetta still starts the game with Crobat V. Not ideal. He's going to put that Eternatus V on the bench. He's going to put a Hiding Dark Energy on and place Dark City down. Now, Marco does have both Chaotic Swells in his hand, which could be really useful for him throughout the game, kind of getting rid of all of those Dark Cities that that Fernando wants to play. We see here Quick Balls, and he comes the Krogunk away to find Crobat. Going to get 5 more cards in hand. It might be 6, actually. Nope. So he's going to draw 5. And he finds the Krogunk, so he's going to put that on the bench as well. Now, Poison Eternatus, they're running several Krogunk and Toxicroak in their deck, but they want to get at least 2 on the bench. That way they can, get those big hit KOs and KO even the biggest Pokemon. But right now, Fermetta really only needs, I believe, 1 Toxicroak. 2 is obviously good, but I think you really only need 1 on the bench going against Pikarom. And we're going to see that Marnie here right off the gate. And he does find the Electromagnetic Radar, and he's going to discard the Research and the Energy Switch, finding a Pikachu, Zekrom, and a Raichu. Except he's going to elect to grab the Dedenne over the Raichu tag team. And when he's going to Quick Ball away that energy, probably find Coco. Although Bolton is actually a good idea, hoping to find some sort of switching option here going into next round. Or into this next hand here. We see 6 new cards. What do we see? We see a Speed Energy, and we do see that Tapu Koko Prism Star that he draws into. We see here a Hammer, 2 more Quick Balls, and he gets Tails on that Hammer. It's not great. Still no Switch cards, though, and he might elect to Crobat if he can, except he's going to grab the Choo Choo Tag Team. He's going to put that one down, and he's going to Tapu Koko Prism Star, putting an energy on the Raichu and the Pikachu and Zekrom, so spreading that energy onto his bench early in the game. And you were going to see a Quick Ball here away that Marnie. Does he grab the Crobat? He might want to, just to find that switch, so he can go into that Bolton and accelerate 2 energy here after that first turn going second. We do not see the switch or Big Charm or anything like that, but we do see or an Air Balloon, but we do see Big Charm and another Crushing Hammer. Will he elect to play it? He does, so he's going to get a second Tails here right off the gate. Not great, but he does get 3 energy on the board, although that Eldegoss for now seems to be trapped in the active spot. Now, for Meta, if he plays his hand right, he will be able to get the KO on that Eldegoss V, so not exactly, something that Marco would love here early in the game, although he can set up that Pikachu and Zekrom and try to get a 2-hit KO here. Not a 2-hit KO, yeah, a 1-hit KO on 2 of Fermetta's Crobats there. And sort of try to get 4 prizes in 1 attack. That seems to be the play going in to this match here, but we'll see. So Marco actually elects to pass instead of Marning this turn. Very interesting, seeing that he's probably convinced that Fermetta's hand doesn't seem too great, and he was right. So we're going to see another Marnie, and he top decks into Marnie, which isn't great. Does he play that Marnie, or does he pass again for the second time? And he's going to go ahead and pass. So this is they're playing pretty smart right here. Now what did Fernando top deck? Let's see. And he actually has Quick Ball in hand. So we're going to probably see another Crobat here. But what are the other 3 cards, right? Are there cards that Fernando is going to be able to play? Nope. So he's just going to go ahead and draw 3. And let's see what he finds. Finds a Pokecom, so he is going to be able to find that Eternatus VMAX. But does he have what it takes to switch into it? We don't know the other 2 cards that he drew into. That Hoopa could have been one, but does he have an energy as well? Does he have a switch and an energy is the big question. The Dark City, but that gets dismantled there from the Chaotic Swell. He does have the switch, and he does play a second Krogunk there, so he's going to go ahead and get some poison damage off on Eldegoss. Not being too important, right? That Eternatus is going to be getting the KO either way, but let's see. Okay, so Marco draws into the research, and he's going to opt to probably play that research, above playing the Marnie and giving Fernando some more cards. And he's going to discard that hand. He does find the switch and does find another speed energy. No energy switch, though, so he's going to opt to probably just electrify this turn. We see a Yell Grunt and another hammer, and he's going to actually electrify without using that hammer this round, and he's going to put both. Oh, well, he's going to put 1 energy on the Raichu and 2 energy on the Raichu. So, I guess he's hoping, right, the paralysis lock might be a little bit more effective than rushing down, Fernando here and taking multiple prizes, but Fernando has the Marnie in hand. I'm not sure if that was a top deck or if he had it in hand prior, but we see an interesting hand here from Marco. Now, if he has a way to switch Fernando, he's going to be able to go into that Eternatus, get the KO here on the Boltund, leaving Marco, able to attach an energy and then Dedenne out. But we'll see. He's going to Pokecom away another Slowbro. Find that Toxicroak. Okay. Again, I don't know if 2 Toxicroak is entirely necessary to have on your bench for this matchup. Specifically, that Eternatus VMAX seems to be doing the damage no matter what. But I guess it can't hurt, right? And we're going to see him attach a speed energy to that Bolt and draw 2 more cards with the hammer. Oh, no, sorry. He gets the heads on the hammer, and he's going to end his turn with a Bolt Storm, getting the KO on that Galarian Slowbro V. So definitely not bad at all for Marco here. Still in a pretty, awkward predicament. I guess, after this Boltund gets knocked out next turn, if Fernando has energy in hand to attach to Eternatus, I guess next turn he can go up to the Choo-Choo. Well, I guess he's going to have to switch in to get that paralysis and that big damage, but he does have the switch in hand, so that is always a capability for him. We see the energy, so he's going to manually attach that to the Eternatus VMAX. This Boltund is as good as gone. However, with that switch card in hand, Marco is going to be able... Ooh, so he actually goes into that Pikarom huge. Very huge. And good point. So with that Big Charm, the poison damage is actually going to be really useful against that Choo-Choo. That's why he went into the Pikarom, because he's able to knock that out, but not that Raichu. With 260 HP and the Big Charm 290 HP, it's just out of Eternatus' range, so that poison is going to be very, very important. We do see the energy switch now, so if Marco wants to, he's deciding here, though. This Big Charm doesn't really have too much use right now. He decides to put it on the Eldegoss. And he's going to actually just opt to Bolt Storm here on this Eternatus, getting that damage off so that next turn, no matter what, he's going to be able to finish that KO with the Raichu. Again, 2 switches in hand. Always good to have those switches in hand when you have your Raichu set up on the bench. So Fermetta does get the manual attachment onto Eternatus. Those hammers early in the game would have been really clutch if Marco was able to hit them. But again, coin flips, they're not always on your side. And we see a research out, and Fernando's going to get 7 new cards, dropping him to only 13 in deck, but Marco only has 10 in deck right now. So both players... both players have pretty much gone through the majority of their decks now. And that Eternatus is doing a full 270 damage. And now, Fernando is just 1 boss's orders away from this win. Just 1 boss's orders away. With 9 cards in deck, it seems like Marco, but he wants to keep that switch card, but I guess, maybe his best option, is to research out, because, you're going to want to find some hammers. There's 1, and then that Yell Grunt, so that could be really useful as well. If I were him, I might have decided to Dedenne out instead of Professoring to research out. That way I could have used the Yell Grunt this turn as well. But he does get heads on that hammers, which is very good, buying him another turn, guaranteeing him another turn, which is pretty much everything that he needs right now. Although he does not have any more switch cards, but he does have the energy to where if he needs to, he can manual retreat out. But the problem there is he can't retreat out twice. So he's in an interesting predicament here. Looking through Fernando's discard pile, wondering what it is that he has. This Raichu here is going to take some poison damage this turn, I believe 5 in between turns. But Marco hasn't popped that GX attack yet, so that's one thing to note. If he wants to, or if he can, He's going to pop that 250 damage. And I believe he's going to get the win here because Fernando isn't going to be able to get the KO on this Raichu. And next turn, he's just going to GX pop off with GX attack for the KO. We see a switch into that Eternatus VMAX, but it doesn't matter because Marco does have 2 boss in hand. That's a quick and decisive game 1. Big shout out to Marco there, playing that game pretty smart, kind of keeping a cool head throughout the games there, throughout the turns. Even though we didn't land those hammers, he still sort of was able to get that early energy acceleration and get those attacks off early in the game. Luckily, Fernando, luckily for Marco, Fernando did not have those boss's orders that he needed, and just sort of, passed on those few turns, which, would have been really crucial. So going into game 2 here, very quick game 1. We'll see if Marco is able to just quickly sweep here in the grand finals. Maybe looking for another 2-0 victory in the grand finals with Pika hammers. We saw it last week, man. Pikarom hammers, it's absolutely astounding. This deck can be just incredibly powerful. And we saw there, even with just half of his crushing hammers, it was just enough, right, to buy him just a little bit of time. And I think hammers are really good against Eternatus, for sure. And I'm pretty sure it's almost necessary for Marco to hit at least a few hammers in this matchup to get the win. But we'll see. That early 1-0 lead is definitely good for Marco. Kind of gives him, some seating there to sit back and relax for this game, and bring it to a game 3 if necessary. We see for meta here, he's going to quick ball for that Crobat. And he's going to switch into the Crobat. And then he's going to Crobat out just to kind of play some cards so we can draw more, I suppose, with Crobat. Marco here starts with the Pikarom and the Choo-Choo on the bench. It does have energy, does have hammer and quick ball with research, so plenty of options here for Marco. Draws a second energy. Maybe looking perhaps for an early Tapu Koko play here. We'll see, but he's actually going to opt for the Boltund. I'm going to hope to try to get that early Electrify off as well. He's going to play the Choo-Choo. He's going to hit the Crushing Hammers on heads. That is huge. Definitely really big for him. And he's going to research out that second energy. Does find another Quick Ball and a Speed Energy, which is actually really good. No switch cards yet, but I guess he can play that Chaotic Swell. He can attach the Big Charm. He's going to put on Choo-Choo. That is smart. And now, he's in this position where he has a hand that could be really useful, right? But he's really going to need that switch card to get an early start here. I believe, if you grab Dedenne and a Tapu Koko V with that Quick Ball, then you're pretty much maximizing your energy acceleration for this turn 1. So we'll see what he does. He's gonna Quick Ball away the the card there. Yep. Okay. So he'll find the Tapu Koko. He will be getting rid of this other Pikarom and the Speed Energy, but I think that's fine for him. And we see no switch cards. Unfortunate. I guess what he can do here is play the Quick Ball, try to find that Crobat, maybe draw into that switch card, but they might be prized, right? So that's probably not a great idea, especially with 27 cards still in his deck. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does here. Okay, so he elects to pass. I think he feels pretty safe with that, having gotten rid of that energy onto Eternatus, putting sort of Fernando in a spot where, he's not really able to do too much this turn coming up. And this is a big reason why some people are playing Turbo Patch in Eternatus now. I know it's more coin flips, but again, I think it's a good enough counter against Crushing Hammers. And it seems like a pretty decent inclusion in Eternatus. We don't see it a whole lot, but I think that it is a pretty good idea, especially with all these Pikarom hammers getting played recently. He's going to Pokecom out the Eternatus VMAX. He might have another one in hand. And he finds another Eternatus V. He's probably going to look for a Power Accelerator this turn. Hoping that Marco doesn't have 2 hammers in his hand, but he does. Hoping that he doesn't hit them at least. That would put Fernando in a very difficult spot. Does have the Team Yell Grunt in hand as well, so this energy denial is looking really good for Marco coming up next turn. If he's able to get at least one of those heads and he Team Yell Grunts, then he pretty much buys himself another 2 turns. And he finds that switch card, which is perfect, so he's going to switch into Boltund. He is going to use Dance of Ancient on his 2 tag teams there. So we'll see. We'll probably see these hammers go. There's a heads. Killer. Absolutely killer. Probably thinking now, do I Yell Grunt or do I just try this other hammers? I think right now you probably just Yell Grunt and you turn on Electrify. Yeah, so he's going to pop the hammer anyway. And there we go. So no more energy for Fernando there, even after power accelerating. Absolutely crushing to see Fernando probably just, face palming right now. He's like, what am I doing right now? How do I get around this? I got no energy on board. It's like round 4 right now. What can I do? Marco here getting an early setup with those, with that Boltund and the Electrify now, if he wants to. Oh, sorry, I got confused. If he wants to, he's going to be able to get the KO on this Boltund here. And he can Dedenne out again next turn if he really wants to. So we're going to see a manual attachment to the active, pretty sketchy. And then we're going to see a boss's orders actually probably into that Dedenne up. And he's going to Crobat out for 6 new cards. There's the Dark City, but again, those Chaotic Swells are really good against Poison Eternatus. Between the Chaotic Swells and the Hammers and the Yell Grunts, I think that this Pikarom list has a really good matchup against Eternatus. Honestly, I think that it's an uphill battle for Fernando. But congrats, to him for making it this far. We're actually going to see a manual attachment to Dedenne, and he's going to Crobat out to grab 6 more. He's just going to retreat out into that Boltund, and he's going to finish off with a KO. But right now he's probably thinking, is there anything else I want to do? But nope, he's just going to go ahead and end his turn with the KO on Eternatus V. And this is why attaching to that active was kind of a strange decision by Fernando, because now it's like turn 5 for him, and he still has no energy on the board when he's down 4-6 energies. So definitely not looking good for Fernando here. Marco taking a pretty comfortable lead here in Game 2. All right, so Fernando here, he's going to Pokecom away that Hoopa. I'm going to grab the Crobat. Does have the Eternatus VMAX on the bench, but no energies. I believe there's, 4 energies in his discard pile? Maybe 3. And we're going to see a boss's orders into that Dedenne again. We're going to see a manual attachment to the bench. Does get that Galarian Slowbro out, but again, there's really not much else that Fernando can do. Now he's in a pretty tough spot. Okay, so we're going to see the energy switch off of... Ooh, so he's hoping for that switch card, and potentially going to get 3 prizes right off the gate here. We see another Crushing Hammers. Is it heads? No, okay, so, fortunately for Fernando that he whiffed the heads there, but we do see the Air Balloon. He's going to be able to switch into that Boltund, and he's going to get the KO on this Crobat here, bringing him to... Oh, just missed the KO. Just missed the KO. I guess I was not counting correctly. Mobby. Okay. That's good. We're good. We're back in it. No worries. Just had to mute somebody there real quick. All right. So Fernando here, he might be able to get that second energy onto Eternatus VMAX. And we're going to see a research out, bringing him down to only, I believe, 6 cards in his deck. Pretty sketchy for Fernando here. Going into the end of Game 2. We see the Galarian Slowbro V, so he whiffed on an energy, it seems. They might be prized. With the amount of energies that have been discarded by the Hammers, and with 6 prizes still there, it's pretty difficult for Fernando here to find those energies this late in the game. Now we can see, if Marco wants to, he can sort of attach that to the Pikarom, or, I suppose, I think attaching to the Pikarom is the best play, because after you knock out this Galarian Slowbro, really all you have to do is just GX attack with Pikarom and just snipe one of those single prizes on the bench. He's going to attach to the Choo-Choo, though. Probably the more safer option, I would say. But again, I think he is still whiffing here on the KO, doing 190 damage. Oh, and he's going to Electrify, but there's going to be no energies in deck. Might be a crucial misplay for Marco here. And then we'll see if Fernando is able to capitalize. Not sure if he top decked that energy. He's only got 5 cards left in deck. He's going to Marnie and just sort of scoop those 5 cards that are on the bottom of his deck right now. And we'll see if any of those are energies. The Dark City is out, though, so, potentially he might be able to make a nice little comeback here. Marnie, Marco out of those. That hand that he just was on was pretty crucial. And he does get the attachment on the Eternatus VMAX, so definitely not in a terrible position at all. However, no, I think putting on the Pikarom was the better decision. I think it still was, because now, you're in this spot where you can't boss his orders into the other Crobat to get 4 prizes at least. But he's going to do it anyway, right? That's his best option. But again, just in a pretty tough spot. So yeah, you can full blitz here, but there's no energies in deck, which there's one now, yeah. And he's only got 1 speed energy left, so difficult for sure. We see a boss orders. Do we see an energy? We do. Okay, actually, so that is super clutch. However, yeah, it's still not going to be enough for Marco to get that KO, even if he bosses orders onto one of those Crobats. This Pikarom is as good as gone, and we see another Marnie from Fernando. So looking like kind of a late game comeback for Fernando here. Kind of just getting everything he needed, and Marco, just kind of breaking out here later in the game. Didn't get what he needed. We do see an energy switch, not going to be too relevant though. And now he's forced to try to attack with that Raichu. But again, he's in a situation now where he's not doing enough damage. He's doing 160, but that's not enough. So I guess his best option here. Well, he doesn't have access to boss's orders, which is pretty difficult. But what he can do is switch into Raichu, paralyze the Eternatus VMAX, and hope that Fernando doesn't have really any way of retreating out. That Chaotic Swell being very useful. However, the hiding energy is attached to both Eternatus VMAXs, which puts him in a pretty difficult spot. So now, as long as Ferment... Okay, so he does have boss's orders. I was going to say, as long as he doesn't have boss's orders, then Marco has a chance with the double switches in hand. But of course, he's able to just... he's just able to poison. Yeah, and then double switch back in, so... There we go. Going to be a nice late game, comeback here for Fernando here in Game 2 with that Poison Eternatus build. We're going to go into a Game 3, which is always good to see. Again, I want to stress we had 122 players tonight in Chill Series number 9. It was an absolutely fantastic turnout tonight. I had a whole lot of fun. It's really great to see. It's phenomenal, right, to see all of the support and players that have been playing. In the past few weeks, since we've moved to Limitless, I think it's put a lot more eyes onto the tournament, and the community is just always incredibly supportful. Everybody, in the server and in the tournaments is fantastic. So, I definitely blessed to be able to be a part of a community like this and a tournament like this. So, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who's in the stream right now watching as well. Big shout out to all of you guys. But here we go, Game 3 for the Chill Series number 9 championship. Will we see Pikarom take home its second tournament in a row, third tournament overall, or will we see Poison Eternatus take its second tournament so far in the Chill Series Season 1? Fernando, of course, actually won Chill Series number 5, I believe. Might have been like 6. But anyway, a former champion. So if he's able to get the win here, he's going to be our first ever 2-time champion. So definitely really exciting. All right. So we see Tapu Koko Prism in the active for Marco. So not fantastic. He does have research in hand. So, we can always fall back on that. But we see Fernando getting that Eternatus V out, getting that Slowbro V out, and as well finding a Crobat to draw 5 new cards. And getting that Crobat on the bench. So a pretty solid start for Fernando here. We're going to see a quick poison. Oh, wow. 10 damage counters from that poison. What is up with that? What is that even from? Oh, sorry, no, that's just 10 damage. My bad. I was like, holy cow. We're going to see him grab both Pikaroms here. Does have Dedenne in hand, so it's looking like, you want to probably play one. Oh, he doesn't have Dedenne in hand. He has Raichu. That's interesting. I'm surprised he doesn't grab the Dedenne and just sort of, yeah, that's probably the play. Then put that Big Charm on Choo-Choo again, getting it out of range of that Eternatus KO. Although the double poison is going to be really clutch. We see 2 hammers, so will he be able... and a switch, actually, so, he can... he can switch out of that Tapu Koko, discard those energies, and then, get them both off. Maybe finding a quick ball or some way to go into Bolton next turn would be really nice for him. I don't think you attach this turn. Unless he already has an energy in the discard, I don't think he does. He goes into Dedenne, which is interesting, but I think it's probably the smart play. Yeah, and I think you research out these energies because now, you're able to Tapu Koko both of them from the discard. You're probably going to draw into at least one energy after this, and you might even be able to draw into a quick ball. So he's actually going to attach one energy, which, I don't know if that was the best play. And he does get hammers here on that second hammer throw. And then now we're going to see the Dance of Ancients here. Just he does already have 2. Sorry, I forgot he had 1 in the discard. So there you go. He's not going to be able to get that Electrify off turn 1 with Bolton, but he does get 3 energies onto his bench there, which... it's not bad at all. Especially with more energies, Marnie, and Switch in hand, he definitely has, something to pivot off of next turn to kind of keep that acceleration coming. Fernando, though, he's going to research out that hand. He does find Great Ball. All right. So Fernando here, he's going to get that energy onto, he's going to manually attach to the Eternatus VMAX Power Accelerator to end his turn. Marco here, he does find another energy and another Marnie, which is not, exactly ideal. But if he wants to this turn, he could end his turn with an Electrify from Bolton. But, is that the better idea, I guess? So he finds the Tapu Koko V, and I think that in the long run, that's a good idea as that free retreat pivot. I think he notices that he's already played a few switch cards in his deck, so this is going to be, his better option. Now, he's going to Marnie out, although, Fernando is going to get 4 fresh new cards here. We do see a Crobat, an Energy Switch, Boss's Order, so there's some things that he can do here. But the thought here is, does he want to go into Pikarom, right? Does he want to go into Pikarom? Maybe, just play the Energy Switch anyway, just kind of get rid of those cards in hand, because he really wants to find, a Crushing Hammers this turn, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what he decides. So he's going to play the Energy Switch, of course, I think just to sort of, get rid of those cards in his hand. Putting it on the Tapu Koko was smart. Doesn't find Hammers, but he does find Yell Grunt. And I think this turn, his best option is to just attack with Pikarom, even though it's not the ideal option. And he very well could get knocked out this next turn. All right. So we do see him evolve into Eternatus VMAX here, Fernando, and he does get that second energy attached now. He should be able to find some Pokemon unless his hand is absolutely not great. Well, there is a stage 2. But what's the rest of his hand? So one's a Great Ball. Most likely we'll find a Pokemon here. But is it a basic? It is. That is a basic. And I believe one more card and he's able to get that one-hit KO, and he does have it. So there goes the Pikarom. And looking like a really, great spot for Fernando here. I think he's got everything that he needs, especially with that Crobat now. He's got a fresh new hand, and with that Toxicroak on the bench, I think he's really in a spot at this point where, he should be able, to, some way or another get, a couple more KOs before the game is over. Marco here. He does have Marnie, and I think that Marnie is definitely a great idea here. So I think if he Marnies, definitely limiting the chances of Fernando to have the cards that he needs. We do see another hammer. Could be clutch. But he doesn't really have what it takes to KO this active Eternatus unless he GX attacks when he goes into Choo-Choo here. But still actually isn't going to be enough because he doesn't have that 5th energy. Now he's in a very tough spot. Now he's in a really tough spot because, if Fernando is able to double switch out, then that's game, right? Because he can set the poison down, and then go back into Eternatus VMAX for the KO. Now, if he isn't able to KO this Raichu this turn, then there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We see one switch. And he will have a second switch, I guarantee you. That's what that good game means. There's the hiding energy. GG. Fernando becomes our first 2-time champion in Chill Series history. Congratulations, my man. Absolutely great run. A great comeback here. Didn't look great for him after game 1. But Fernando, man, really great to see you getting your second Chill Series tournament win. And shooting you up right on the rankings. Now, you might be above your brother Marco for number 1 on the power rankings. Big shout out to Marco for making it to grand finals with that Pikarom list. It was really great to see. But again, I want to give a big congratulations to both players, especially Fernando, man. That's going to wrap it up, though, boys and girls. That is our Chill Series number 5 Grand Finals match. The winner being Fernando Cifuentes, running that Poison Eternatus deck list. The second time that Fernando has won, and the second time that a Poison Eternatus VMAX list has won the Chill Series. But again, big congratulations to him. I don't believe he's probably available for an interview, being young and having, English not as his primary language. But we'll be able to feature his deck in a video, in no time. So if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching this live right now, thank you guys so much for watching. We're back every Wednesday, Chill Series. And I got nothing else to say, so have a good night.